The Oklahoma Sooners star wide receiver Jalil Farooq did what on Thursday night? Guys, you know what happened. We're going to go through these facts a little bit. Then we're going to talk about exactly how to walk y'all off the ledge here. Some of you guys be acting like the world's ending. Then we're going to transition a little bit into some comments that were made by Trace Ford towards Mike Gundy and vice versa. Mike Gundy to Trace Ford. But guys, before we dive into it, I want to hear from y'all. So make sure you're jumping in the comments, being a part of the discussion, right? So give me your thoughts. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and hit the subscribe button. And thank you for tuning into the PG show because, guys, we're talking about all things college football. I'm glad to have you guys here being a part of it. So, giving credit to Eli Lederman of the Sellout Crowd, who first reported it. Jalil Farooq was arrested in Norman on Thursday night. We're going to look at the facts here. Then maybe we can speculate about what's going to happen next. What's next for Farooq? Well, the deal is, according to Lederman, Farooq was pulled over for driving erratically with an expired tag, and then he was arrested on 4 outstanding municipal warrants. Nothing major, and this is where I need to talk you guys off the ledge, right? Here's the ledge. You guys are here, about to fall off. I need to get you guys back to here, stepping off the ledge. So, what this means is he's got some parking tickets, traffic tickets that just haven't been paid. And the county, the city, whatever campus, they've issued a warrant out. They just want to get him to pay these tickets. So they're not going to let him go. Now, I was talking to Ty over at Roundtable Sports. Listen, campus police, they can be hard asses sometimes. So it's important to understand that Farooq was not going to get away with this. I don't care if it's the week before Bedlam, the week before a national championship. Listen, you know what? And sometimes this stuff makes headlines, and because it makes headlines, they know it's going to get back to BV, which means, hey, they might finally get Farooq to pay these tickets. Here's what I want everybody to understand here. There's just a level of accountability that needs to be held with Farooq right now. And it's, again, nothing major. This is not a character problem. This is not somebody that went out and hurt somebody or stole something or whatever, right? Like, what he did was illegal, but at the same time, it wasn't like he broke the law, but he didn't like break the law, if that makes sense. And if you need me to elaborate more on that, jump down in the comments and I'll elaborate more on what I'm trying to say. But at the end of the day, this is going to be handled internally. And whether that looks like Farooq sitting out for a series, sitting out for a half, a quarter, we're going to find out on Saturday. But I don't think they're going to punish the entire football team and keep Farooq out of this game, because that's exactly what it does. You taking Farooq out of this game, taking one of your best playmakers at wide receiver, only hurts Dylan Gabriel and only hurts this team. Now, Farooq leads the Sooners right now in 26 catches for 449 yards. And he's been a crucial piece of this offense, or at least in the passing game, since Andrell Anthony went down with that injury. So again, I don't expect Farooq to be out long. And we've seen similar things like this happen in Norman. This is not as bad as Baker getting hit with the public intox and trying to run from the police. This is a much lighter situation. This is not the Georgia players street racing. Okay? That's not what this is. And I'd be curious to see what the officer said driving erratically, right? You know, he could have just been on his phone like every other Oklahoman that I see driving down the road. Yeah, I'm going to call all y'all out. Y'all don't know how to drive. Y'all be on your phones while you're driving. Now, I'm guilty of that as well. But, you know, it could have been something like that, and maybe he was just swerving. The officer found a reason to pull him over. Now, the other thing is, too, he pulled him over on an expired tag. You know how many expired paper tags, expired tags that I see throughout all over Oklahoma City that I'm like, how in the world is this person still driving around? Like, you got paper tags that have been overdue for a year. You got paper tags you can't read. You got license plates that have been expired for months. So it had to have been, hey, maybe he's just swerving a little bit. The officer pulled him over because he had an expired tag, and then found out, hey, you know what? You have got some unpaid tickets. We're going to have to take you in. Really, it's just standard protocol. Nothing Oklahoma fans need to be worried about. This is a good teaching moment for Farooq, though, right? This is an opportunity for BV to come in and do what he says he does best, right? Turning these young men into leaders and better men in their community, right? So now he gets to teach Farooq, hey, listen, this is what happens, and your actions have consequences, but hey, we're going to learn from it. It's no different than when your kid does something wrong, but like it wasn't major. And honestly, it probably wouldn't have been that big of a deal if you just let it blow over. But guess what? You wanted to teach them a lesson. You wanted to teach them accountability and responsibility. So you give them a punishment anyways. No different than that. But completely off that topic now, because we'll find out more on Saturday of Farooq's availability when we see that depth chart. We got to talk about Trace Ford shooting some shots at Mike Gundy on the Sports Animal, and Mike Gundy firing back. Yes, you heard me right. So the transfer edge rusher Trace Ford, defensive lineman, whatever you want to call him, appeared in 32 games for the Cowboys before transferring to Oklahoma. And he had this to say Thursday morning on the Sports Animal on if he's spoken to Mike Gundy since he's left. And he said, not once. And he doesn't care that I left. He didn't care that I was leaving when I was about to leave. I tried to inform him then, and he didn't care. I don't think me and the staff have the best relationship. Some of the coaches still text me to this day, but not all of them. When I was informing the coaching staff of thinking about leaving, they're like, okay, get on out of here. They're pretty much like, we don't want to talk to you. So that's just the life we live. It is what it is. And then on Monday, Gundy was asked about Ford. And he said, I've watched a lot of tape and honestly have not paid much attention or even noticed. Come on, Gundy. Really? I look at a lot of concepts, schemes, numbers, what to attack, and I want to stay away from things like that more so necessarily than who it would be. So I don't really notice things like that. Well, good news is if that's the truth, then I guess Jeff Lebby is going to be able to run jet sweeps with, you guessed it right, Gavin Freeman. And when Mike Gundy sees Gavin Freeman trotting out on the field, I guess they won't know a jet sweep's coming, right? Yeah, I know. Y'all don't want to see the jet sweeps. That was a bad time for a bad joke. But Trace Ford, he's made an impact for the Oklahoma Sooners on the field this season, coming in with 10 total tackles. Hey, he's even got an interception on the season. Yeah, Trace Ford, an edge rusher, right? Defensive lineman. And you expect that he's going to come into this game going to Stillwater, playing in the final Bedlam game, at least for a while. I think we expect for at least until 2030. He gets to come into this game, go back to Stillwater, make his presence felt. And definitely he's going to make his presence felt. He's probably excited to play in this game. The Oklahoma Sooners are coming in at number 9, 7-1. Oklahoma State's ranked number 22, coming in at 6-2. They're giving Oklahoma an 80% chance to win this game. Line hasn't changed much here, though. Oklahoma still favored by 6, over under at 61.5. Listen, I think Oklahoma, again, we talked about earlier, the key to the victory is you got to go balls to the wall on defending the run game. Do not let Ollie Gordon get out on top of you. Trace Ford is going to be a big part of that. Getting stops in the backfield on Ollie Gordon is going to be important. If you do that, you probably win this game handily. You might not even have to touch the 61.5 over under because Oklahoma State might not score that many points if you just completely shut down the running game. Now, I'm not naive to think that you're going to shut Ollie Gordon under 100 yards, but it would be nice. A man can dream. But guys, I want to hear from you. So make sure that you're jumping down in the comments below, joining the discussion. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and hit that subscribe button.